everyone, Sydney here, and welcome to Greek Myths Undone. Sorry about any noise that you might hear in the background. My apartment has zero soundproofing, and we are right by a very busy intersection. Today's episode will be dealing with a myth about ancient Greece itself, the religion of ancient Greece. So, ancient Greece. It had gods, ceremonies, temples, but did it have a true set religion, or was it just a bunch of cults that later melded into what we call the religion of the ancient Greeks? The past 2 weeks, I've had classes at the ancient Athenian Agora, and I think that I might have the answer. First, let me give you a little background on the Agora. The Athenian Agora was a marketplace that held many public and political gatherings in ancient Greece. This gathering space was important for many political advancements, including the rise of democracy in the Athenian Republic. The site of the Agora today is both an excavation site and a place where people can walk among the ruins and learn at a museum. One of the structures still preserved from the ancient times is the Temple of Hephaestus. The Temple of Hephaestus is the most well-preserved pagan temple from ancient Greece still around today. When Christians took over Greece, they turned the temple into a Roman Catholic church dedicated to St. George, which prevented the building from being torn down then, and later, rules were put into place against destroying any statues or buildings from the past. Many people associate the temples with the religion of the ancient Greeks, as the temples were what were dedicated to the different deities. And this is both right and wrong. Yes, the temples were dedicated to the deities and were used in religious situations. However, in stating that there was one set religion throughout all of ancient Greece, we're wrong. To be considered a religion with a capital R, there are guidelines to what the organization needs. The two main guidelines that we're going to be working on today are the holy books and a permanent priesthood. The holy books are books that instruct you with rules on how to live your life, rules on how to perform rituals or ceremonies, instructions on how to connect with whatever deity you are worshiping, and it essentially helps guide you through the religion. With permanent priesthood, yes, the ancient Greeks had priests and priestesses that took care of the temples. But to be considered a capital R religion, you need a priest that will pray on the behalf of others. The Greeks would go and bring offerings to the temples themselves. Fruits, tiny statues with prayers carved into them. Normally the statues were shaped of the body parts that you wanted healed, or an animal that was sick, etc. The priests were there to maintain the upkeep of the temples and make sure that no one went into the temples, as they were places for only the gods and those closest to the gods. They weren't really doing any praying for anyone else. Because ancient Greece didn't have these things, it can be said that they didn't have one set religion. What they did have were cults. And I know, when I say cult, you probably think of some crazy people in masks performing human sacrifices. The ancient Greeks weren't like that. The cults were simply groups of people who would all worship the same deity. There were thousands of deities that existed and were worshipped. The Olympian pantheon that we all know, the one consisting of the 12 main gods and goddesses, didn't exist until the Republic had been founded in Athens. Athens was founded in 3000 BCE, which was long before the Republic came around in the 9th century BCE. The cults were spread out, and there were no connection between all the deities until the Olympian pantheon was founded. The gods and goddesses of this pantheon are combinations of other smaller deities. Even with the Olympian pantheon around, people still tended to worship one or two deities, to each their own and all that. So what we tend to call the religion of ancient Greece wasn't really a thing. Instead, we had a group of cults that would worship deities of their own choosing. Come back next week for our next video uploaded to Greek Myths Undone.